Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smack Raw podcast.
Welcome everyone to the Smack Raw podcast. I am your host, SES Vince. We are the exclusive wrestling recap podcast for Wrestling News World. Go ahead and check them out for all your latest wrestling news, rumors, articles, all that fun stuff. Check them out. They're very legit. Guys, today I bring you the holy trinity of NXT podcasting. The whole crew is finally back. Jay Thunder, Mr. 8984, aka RN, aka Aaron Real Petty. What is up, my boys? How's it going?
It feels like forever since we all been on the show together.
It really,
years, right?
it really has. It's great to have both of you guys back on here. Like I said, we are the holy trinity of NXT. Great show to be back on too. I thought this was a better show than last week, and a lot of things happened tonight on NXT. Before we get started, let me get a quick plug out of the way. Go ahead and you can find us right here on youtube.com/SmackRaw Podcast. You can find us wherever you consume audio podcasts using our link tree /SmackRaw Pod, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play. Go ahead and leave us a review, a 5-star rating, all that good stuff. Let us know if you care about the podcast because it really helps us out. Also, follow us on social media at SmackRaw Pod. You can find me at SES Vince, at Mr. 8984 for RN, and of course, J Thunder 2009 for Mr. J Thunder over there, our PWX Tag Team Champion. So, again, great show, guys. We started off kind of hot. Hold up. Undisputed Era came out. Adam Cole trying to address what happened last week. I thought it was a solid way to start off. Normally, NXT starts off with like a match. This felt more like a main roster type of show where they usually start off with a segment as opposed to an actual wrestling match. But by no means was it a bad thing because I thought it was really, really good. I thought the promo delivered was good. He addressed Velveteen Dream, how he's in his past. He's looking behind him since Dream can no longer challenge for the title, given that Cole won. Unfortunately for Dream. So not only do they address Dream, they also address Dexter Loomis, who Cole has a match on in the main event later on tonight. Throughout the promo, I thought this was hilarious. Apparently, he was showing himself in the background, but only Roddy could see him. Every time he'd be like, "Look, he's right there," and then they would turn around, and then there would be nobody there. I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was very good, and you saw that storyline play out throughout the entire show, where Roddy's like very fucking paranoid, and then Bobby Fish and Adam Cole's like, "Bro, just chill." Just chill. I thought it was a great dynamic. I thought it was really, really good.
But Dexter Loomis is my new favorite thing about NXT. He's my favorite part of NXT by far. Like, everything about this shit is dope because Undisputed Era, they don't get enough credit for the chicken shit heels that they are, and not at the same time. Like, they are literally like they couldn't play this up any better. And Dexter just looks strong and looks spooky as fuck throughout the whole thing. Like, I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it.
Oh, for sure. What about you, Jay? How were you feeling the opening segment?
Oh my god, yeah! Like I thought it was awesome. Roddy was just so entertaining,
dude.
So I couldn't stop laughing because it was just more so the fact of him being like I'm so used to him being like the
tough guy.
So used to him being the tough guy that he's like.
Bro,
oh my god!
How would you act if you were locked in the trunk and abducted for 12 hours? I love that they addressed that. Bro, Bobby Fish looked like, he went through some shit, but he toughened up. Roddy was a fucking mess. Roddy
was done for.
He was done for. He was paranoid.
I only saw Dexter one time, but I did see him when he kept saying, ooh, there he is. Like, I did see him. I only saw him once, but I know that, he was there. And then at the end, but I did see him the very last time, and they're like, come on, bro, chill. Right. That shit was fire.
It was freaking hilarious. It really genuinely was. And like I said, like Roddy just looked very scruffy. He looked like he hadn't slept. Like this legit traumatized him. It was great. So
being in a trunk for 12 hours should traumatize anybody. God damn, they need to call the law.
For real. So after that promo,
I kind of wonder where they were left for 12 hours.
Apparently,
they said Roddy woke up in his laundry room or some shit.
Bro. Okay, so the thing though is that Adam Cole was just putting himself over as like the best, like the greatest NXT champion, and then he was talking to Loomis saying, "You mess with one member of the Undisputed Era, you mess with all of us," and he was just gonna like teach him a lesson in the main event. I thought it was solid. It was good. It built upon the paranoia and the stalking of Dexter Loomis, so I thought it was great. The first match we actually had on the show was Keith Lee and Mia Yim versus Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. But before we actually even had the match, once we came back from commercial, we saw we saw Roderick Strong being calmed down by the Undisputed Era. Like, bro, like chill, like we good, you good. Like, just trying to calm him down. Keith Lee and Mia Yim walk up, and he was saying to Undisputed Era, Keith Lee, I'm talking about, saying that I was wondering what would be next for me. And then looks at the title, looks at Cole. Roddy gets like pissed off. It's like, how dare you type of situation. And the rest of the Undisputed Era like, come on, man, let's go. We got other things to focus on. And then Cole, as he's walking away, it's like, in your dreams, big guy. I thought it was good. It was very, very well delivered. I liked it.
This is the stuff. This part like this is when I can take Keith Lee's like corniness, like because this played into what Undisputed Era was doing and everything. So like I'm not even gonna front. I thought it was dope too right here, especially just how fucking corny and nerdy he is. And they're like, bro, this is not the time, bro. Chill. Like, we got shit going on. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling it all. I ain't even gonna lie.
For sure. And not only that, man, but what I liked about the whole thing is that it easily transitioned into the mixed tag match, which is something that I love when any wrestling promotion can do. It's like, build this like a universe similar to like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where has all these big characters, but you interweave them and acknowledge that they acknowledge the other individual.
Everywhere, like they're intertwined. Everything like worked out.
Yeah,
like, storylines are like put together, and I like it.
Yeah,
and it's not even just theirs. Raw and SmackDown has been doing it too, and it's just been since quarantine. Because before they did, it was just like this storyline, no interaction, no nothing. But now it's all intertwined. I'm digging it.
Yeah, like NXT's been doing that for like the longest. They've been like keeping everything intertwined, and I think that's one of the main things that kind of just like keep NXT like super fresh and relevant. That they keep the storylines together. They're not like all over the place.
Well, not even that. They are all over the place. But the fact that they have a little thread here and there connecting everything, when they pull a storyline out of their ass, you're like, oh, that was that one time when they were in the back and so-and-so said that a couple months ago. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between them and the main roster. They are all over the place. There is some shit like sometimes they pull out their ass, but they always do something like the stuff with Velveteen and Finn before all the stuff happened where they went away. Like, it's always just a little bit of something for them to pull out to justify why they would change direction or why they just pulled a feud out of their ass and just started a feud. That's the difference between them and Raw and SmackDown.
I mean, I feel like they keep it clean though. Like,
yeah,
they keep it way more cleaner than the main roster though.
Yeah, but I'm saying give Raw and SmackDown credit for finally doing that, where everybody's involved and it's a shared universe and not just 5 different storylines going on in one show. Now you see everybody interact backstage. Right. You see people getting involved. Those interactions turn into feuds and shit too, especially like on SmackDown. So like that's all I was saying. Like NXT is the best by far, but the main roster is finally starting to pick up on it and use it because they didn't have a choice because they only had like 10 wrestlers on each damn show, so they had to have them interact and be a shared universe.
Speaking of interacting, guys, I loved how both teams in this match interacted because usually in these kind of mixed tag match, you don't see like the men and the women interacting that much, but you saw that in this match, and that's what I really liked about this match as opposed to their match last week. Hold up. Let me. Wait.
I need that gif, man. I need that gif.
like for instance, like Candice LeRae hitting that DDT with the assistance of Johnny Gargano on Keith Lee, Mia Yim coming out and just taking both the Garganos to Suplex City, and she legit looking like in real life she could probably beat the crap out of Johnny Gargano, which is what I freaking loved.
The only part I didn't like about that, like y'all know I don't like Mia Yim at all, but I did dig that part. But I hated the refs yelling at Gargano, "Don't touch her, don't touch her, don't touch her." Like, no, man, shut the fuck up and just let this ride, bro. Like, we know he can't touch her. It is what it is. Like, that's not the good, bad, and bad about not being in the crowd and everything. You can hear all the shit in the ring, but that was the only thing I didn't like. And like.
Let them fight.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, shut up, bro. You ain't got to keep talking. Don't touch her, Johnny. Don't touch her. Don't touch her. Like, bro, he's not. Clearly, he's getting his ass kicked by her. He's not touching her.
So the match can't officially start. It doesn't start right away because it starts off in a brawl, a tornado style type brawl, and that's the one thing I liked about it. And eventually, like the start of the match, that was the story. Ref trying to get everything control, get like everything in order, and making sure the match actually starts. It goes on for like maybe like a good 5 minutes or so before like the bell actually rings.
I thought it was a tornado match, to be honest, because of how it started.
I would have loved to see that, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought that would have been better, but the match itself was really, really good. I like the spot where Mia attempts the suicide dive on the Garganos. They move out of the way, but Keith Lee's able to catch her, and they do a nod to the catch spot in the Gargano match at TakeOver, and you can see Mia mouthing off like, "Thanks, babe."
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really good, very, very subtle. I need that gift too.
We just back to now, like, again, what is Mia Yim? Now she's just Keith Lee's girlfriend.
Nah, man. Like honestly, man, I think you're just like you need to hop off this train already, man, because you go.
I'm picking up passengers along the way. I have been.
I'm just saying that train's going nowhere. You need to go ahead and chill out.
You need to check my timeline because I've got a bunch of people that are agreeing with me on this, man. What is she exactly, bro?
Anyway, I love the spot. We're going back to the spots in this match, and we're gonna cover the match real quick.
We're not gonna talk about the fact that how Keith Lee just kind of like just in the beginning of the match just lifted up Candice LeRae and just put her back.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
It looked like he picked up a baby doll, bro. That shit was crazy.
And that was the interaction that I mentioned at the top of us covering the match that I really enjoyed, was the interaction between not only like the men and the women, but the men with the women against each other, like Keith Lee and Candice and Mia and Johnny. I thought the interactions were great and they played off well with one another. I love the spot where Keith Lee is also about to power slam both of them. Candice goes to rake the injured eyes, again telling the story that was already previously told from last week, then TakeOver, then this week. The injured eye, you saw like the tape by the side of like the right side of Keith Lee's face. They addressed it like I mentioned earlier. Johnny Gargano hits a super kick onto Keith Lee, which allows Candice to hit a tornado DDT. Loved it. Thought it was really, really good. That's when Mia comes in, and that's when I was talking about earlier. She goes ham and takes the Garganos to Suplex City. I thought it was really, really good. She hits various dragon suplexes. At one point, tries to hit a dragon suplex on the apron to Candice to the outside, and Johnny comes in to try to stop it. Keith Lee goes in and pounces Johnny into Candice, which leads to Mia crashing and hitting the mat onto the outside and being taken out for the rest of the equation. Keith Lee looks at what just happened. He's like, "Mia, are you okay, Mia?" And you can see him get pissed in his face. Then he gets kicked right in the face by Johnny Gargano. He hits his finisher, the one final beat. But when he lands on top of Candice LeRae. And Johnny doesn't cover immediately. And then Keith Lee, being the humble, great human being that he is, he's like, "Oh, fuck, what did I just do?" He feels bad. He feels remorse. He tries to pick up Candice, but then Johnny goes and rolls him up for the 1, 2, 3. It's revealed that Candice was actually just selling it and faking the injury. And they get the win on the Keith Lee and Mia Yim team.
She wasn't selling it, bro. She was up fucking. She was lit, bro.
He was lit.
For her, bro. She wasn't selling shit. He was smacking her face after she rolled out of the ring, and he rolled out of the ring. He was on top of her. Wake up, baby. Wake up.
I thought the finish was great. I enjoyed the finish.
Yeah,
it was original. It gave a win to Johnny Gargano trying to get some more heat back onto him after his loss at TakeOver, but it still made Keith Lee strong by not having him get straight up pinned.
I'm not into this feud really, not as much as I was. But again, them in the ring, I mean, it's arguably three of the best wrestlers on the whole entire show, in that match. So, no, absolutely not.
4 for the audio.
Your boy is the biggest Mia Yim stan. He was agreeing with yeah, it's only 3.
No. Anyway, addressing your point that you're not feeling the feud, I don't think the feud's going to carry over past this. We saw a lot of story beats being advanced, and that's one thing that I really like. We don't know what's going to happen next, with the exception of a few things here or there. They have left the door opens for multiple outcomes, and I'm all for that. I love when wrestling can keep you guessing, and you can't just automatically guess what happens, even though we saw a couple things happening later on in the show, which we will be talking about. So after this, we had 2 separate interviews, one for Damian Priest, one for Cameron Grimes, back to back. Damian Priest was saying, yeah, he gave props to Finn Balor. I think this was him turning babyface, because he gave props to Finn Balor, and he said, look, the match had, I would have loved to win at TakeOver, but the match wasn't necessarily just for the win. I think it accomplished what I wanted it to. It helped build and continue to, make my name, Damian Priest, live in infamy. And that's the main thing that I kept saying about Damian Priest. He just wants to be a big name. He wants to go down as a legend and be remembered for his contributions to NXT and wrestling. And that's what I like about Damian Priest, because you can do matches similar to what he had against Finn Balor on TakeOver on Sunday and lose, but still look strong, as long as he keeps looking strong. That was the motivation for Velveteen versus Aleister Black in their feud. He just wanted Aleister Black to acknowledge him and just to get his respect, and that's basically what he's doing, except he's trying to gain the entire respect and you're just being honored and remembered.
I don't know why they're turning him face though. He could have still had this exact promo, but just switched it just a little bit to make it where he's still getting heat, and they could have got him more heat where he's like, you lost. What are you talking about? You lost. But yeah, you're talking about my name. You're talking about me right now.
Well, to play devil's advocate here, how many heel turns have we had recently in NXT? It's a nice change of pace to see one guy turn to the good side as opposed to everybody going heel. So after this promo, we get a Cameron Grimes interview, and he's basically talking about his rematch against Finn Balor later on tonight. He's like, I don't know why the fuck I even have this match. I don't know why Regal even made it. I already beat Finn Balor, but you know what? If I beat him once, I can do it again. And he addresses Damian Priest. I mean, Damian Priest had his match, but he lost, but he still looked good and stuff.
But I'm here for this, man. Even though I know it was supposed to be some comedy shit, bro, but I was like, you know what? He right. That man is right.
Heels making points. Heels making good points.
I'm here for Cameron Grimes, bro.
So he was talking shit, and then Damian Priest comes in, just hits him with an elbow, and knocks him to the floor. Afterwards, it's revealed that Cameron Grimes can't compete because he has a broken jaw, and the ref is having a Zoom call with Regal, and Regal's like, go ahead and find Grimes. They later find him later on in the night, and he's talking to 2 performance center trainees, and he's trying to spit some game. He's trying to shoot his quarantine shots, and unfortunately he gets caught in the act. He gets caught in the lie, and Regal's like, you're having your match, screw that. And then he just shoos everybody off, saying he has to prepare, and he's pissed. He's so pissed he even drops his hat. He's so frustrated. You know when you get so frustrated at things and then you do silly stuff, and that just makes you even more madder? That's what happened here. I thought it was
I'm just hoping with Damian Priest, we're getting, I've been saying this from the start, we're getting the cool, edgy Roman Reigns we should have been getting forever. Because even when he hit him in the mouth and he get down and he was saying oh, no, I was just saying how great you are, what I'm saying, even though you lost, but I was just saying that. Then he knocks him out. Then when he goes on the ground, he's like, go ahead and continue what you were saying.
I love that. It's the little things.
Just that, like you said, just that little touch where it wasn't no corny shit. It was just one little one line, bitch, what now?
Yeah.
Going about your business. Like I said, we're getting that edge. I've been saying this. I'm holding on to this. He's going to be the next Roman Reigns, bro. I'm telling you, watch.
For sure.
And he's a Roman Reigns that you can change heel or face because he's already started out that way. He's already a little bit edgy. He's got the move set, everything. I'm attaching my name to Damian Priest right now, bro.
For sure. So next up, we had some tag team action. We had In the Sheer with my main man, Malcolm Bivens. I freaking love Malcolm Bivens. I'm not feeling the tag team per se, but anything to get Malcolm Bivens on my screen, I'm with it. They had a quick squash match. They had a basic tag team finisher, and if you guys noticed, they didn't even connect it at the end. Like the guy that did the leg drop didn't connect. They had to cut the angle. Just quick squash.
Turkish AOP.
Yeah, nothing really of note here. But the next thing that really hyped me out, Breezango hype package. I loved it. They were doing their normal comedy stuff. They were like subtle comedy stuff that you very enjoy. They addressed their stints in SmackDown. How they love to entertain people. That's why they were astronauts. That's why they were doctors, construction workers, cops, all that stuff. That's why they were doing those costumes, because they love entertaining the people. But they were saying that they got too caught up in entertaining everyone and weren't succeeding on SmackDown, and that's what happened. They got complacent. They were focusing on the wrong things. They even addressed how you think we can't get it done in the ring. We won last week. We have a match against Imperium, and they mentioned how Fandango, his first debut match was at WrestleMania. They didn't mention who he beat. Of course, he beat Chris Jericho. They weren't gonna mention Chris Jericho, but he beat Chris Jericho. They addressed how Tyler Breeze was one of the founding members of NXT when it became a network exclusive show. So they were addressing all that stuff. Jay, are you down with Breezango? Are you feeling this new rig package basically saying, yeah, we're still going to entertain before the bell rings, but then after that bell rings, we're going to get serious, and then when the second bell rings, that's when we're going to go back to entertaining?
Well, here's my thing. Like, when I first saw Breezango, I thought they were just another tag team that I couldn't stand. I couldn't stand it at all.
Right.
But, with me watching Tyler Breeze and watching him on Up, Up, Down, Down, and watching him everywhere else, like they have gotten the Fashion Police and all that stuff. It's gotten entertaining to me. So they've kind of grown on me just a tad bit. So, but I'm actually happy to see that like they got moves, man. They're not punks. They actually can do shit in the ring. That's what I like.
Mm-hmm. See, mine is the exact opposite reaction, because I do like Tyler Breeze, and like you said, seeing him all them other places and knowing that he's a great wrestler, he's got a great move set. He can be face or heel, whatever you need him to be. Breezango or Fandango and shit, adding him with that, like, I don't know. I think he's the weak link of the group, and I think he needs to show me something.
Nah, man, and that's the thing with Fandango. Unfortunately, you get saddled with that dancer funny gimmick, and it's one of those cases where like you got settled with that gimmick, and you had to like fight off
exactly. That's what I said. You got to show me something, because I know what Tyler Breeze can do in the ring. Tyler Breeze has put on dope ass matches time and time again with people before he got thrown into this garbage. I need to see what Fandango can do.
And that's the thing. Fandango can go in the ring. He's had successful matches. He's had solid matches, but they haven't on main roster allowed him to be that. What NXT is allowing them, and what they did with this promo, is that they're saying, yes, we still are going to entertain the masses, but when that bell rings, we're going to go in the ring. We can go in the ring. We have some moves, and we proved it last week, and we're going to prove it when we face Imperium. Like, they still threw some funny jabs. I feel like they're leaning less into that like goofy like R-Truth stuff and more into like a New Day stuff where they're still going to be funny, entertaining, but when it's time to get in that ring, they're going to be serious and they're going to be legit threats. And I really, really hope so, because I don't want to sit here 20 years from now and say that Tyler Breeze has never won a title. I want him to at least be acknowledged as a great tag team wrestler or a great singles guy, because he can be both, if not.
And that's why, as much as I hate that shit, like, I like him so much that I have to root for it, because I like Tyler Breeze so much. You know what I'm saying?
And like I mentioned last week, I think like look, Donald Wood, thank you for being on the show. We appreciate you being a guest. We appreciate your takes. But he was so like upset that Lorcan and Birch weren't gonna get the #1 contendership. It wasn't the feud to go into Imperium. Like, I'm sorry. Breezango versus Imperium is just way more better. Not only are you going to have a great wrestling match, but the characters are going to play well with each other, because Imperium are no nonsense, and they want to get rid of the no nonsense stuff that is in the ring, and that's what Breezango do. So like, I think the styles are going to clash, and it's going to play very well with each other in inside and outside the ring. So that could be a feud that continues beyond their match next week.
I don't necessarily agree with that in the ring, but at least out the ring you do have, especially because Imperium doesn't have their mouthpiece and they're all right on the mic, but at least you can have that banter back and forth with Breezango, like you said, cracking some jokes and shit. Like there's at least a sort of back and forth that you can have with them being serious and them not. So at least that part, I agree with you on that part.
So then following that, we had another interview, this time with Rhea Ripley, where she gets interrupted pretty early on into it by Robert Stone, where he tries to recruit her, but she turns him down and gets punched in the gut. I thought this shit was hilarious. Jay, we haven't had you on the show for a minute now, man. Like, what do you make about the rise and fall of Robert Stone and his brand?
I mean, I was kind of trying to see. I don't even really want to talk about Mr. Stone. I kind of want to talk about the fact that, he has some good talent somewhat in Chelsea Green. So
and he let her go.
So, I just love the fact that, like, I guess I like the fact that, they're trying to do something with him.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see more. Like, I want to see more of what he can actually, like, bring to the table as a manager.
What I'd like to see from this Robert Stone storyline going forward is he keeps trying to go after the top stars of NXT. They all turn him down, but in the meantime, you see Aaliyah like, hey, you can manage me, and then he's like, no, fuck you, I don't want to manage you. Hey, can I manage you? He gets turned down by somebody, and then he's turning down Aaliyah. That's something I want to see going forward.
See, I want the exact opposite. I want what you want, but different. I want him to keep trying to get all the top talent, and they keep telling him no, keep telling him no, and then somebody finally says yes, and he's like not prepared for it. And then we do get to see what he can do as a manager: lie, cheat, steal, whatever he's got to do to help that person win.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe Cameron Grimes could be a guy. And let's talk about his match: Cameron Grimes versus Finn Balor. I thought this match was really, really good. Grimes really delivered on the being a chicken shit heel before the match, but once it came down to being inside the match, he was a great in-ring general. He was able to reverse a lot of Finn's offense. At one point, he reversed not only the 1916, but he also reversed the coup de grace. I thought this was really good. Jay, what you thought of the match?
I will say that I was kind of worried about Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm worried about Finn because that landing on that coup de grace, I was like, oh no, not again. You know how Finn is like injury prone, man. You're like, I got kind of scared. I was like, nah, Finn, nah. The match was great. Like I love the fact that what is it? I'm trying to figure out what the move was. The rebound clothesline that Cameron Grimes
off the second rope.
Oh yeah,
that was dope.
Yeah,
I love the fact that I don't know what it was, but it looked like a spin out side effect.
that body slam. You had him up like a body slam and then turned it into that shit. I'm telling you, bro, that boy good. That boy good.
He's
the chicken shit heel. Like I love him. Like I said, that match that he had with Finn the first time he showed me a lot. So I'm so looking forward to more shit from him.
Right. This match to me was better than the first match because this match, like you said, it wasn't just like you were surprised that he won that match, but this match you were surprised that he kept doing dope shit and reversing shit over and over again. Like, and I've seen these type of match from. Go back and look up some of his PWG stuff, bro. When he was Trevor Lee, like him versus Ricochet, bro. I'm telling you, this dude is gonna be something else. And like this match right here lets you know that they think he is too. And Finn, because Finn doesn't give too much to people, not especially up and coming people. And for him to give him two matches like this, and like you said, we ain't seen nobody reverse Finn's finishers.
Right.
Even though the coup de grace is probably one of the worst, dumbest damn finishers ever, you still don't see anybody get up from it or reverse it. You know what I'm saying?
Stop it. I will not take any coup de grace slander. We're moving on from that slander. But I will say that I do love Cameron Grimes' moveset. I think he has a very unique moveset, and I like how a lot of his moves can be hit out of nowhere, which is always the best kind of moves. Similar to Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin doesn't look like he has moves that can hit out of nowhere, but he has a deep six, the end of days, and then that turnbuckle clothesline where he slides into the ring and then comes back and hits you. Great moveset. So the match does end eventually. Finn does get the win. He hits a reverse 1960 coup de grace combination, gets the win on Cameron Grimes. What I loved about this is that
it wasn't a reverse. He didn't win with the reverse. He won with the
he won with the actual one. He did do the reverse one to him, but he kicked out of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because what wound up happening was he hit him with the reverse. He kicked out of that.
Mm-hmm.
He did, if I'm not mistaken, he still did the coup de grace. But he was like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm about to end his career."
Right.
That's what
Okay.
That's what he did that.
I think what happened is I looked down, then when I looked back up, he went for the coup de grace. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe I was looking down when it all happened. But again, post match, he goes into the camera, he cuts his signature pose, and he calls out Keith Lee. He hold up, let me see. I have it here. Post match, he had a great line saying that he's won a lot of titles, but he's never won the North American title. And he says, "Keith Lee, when you're done playing house, come find me." I love that line because it addresses storyline.
Fire!
Oh man, it was so good. So it looks like we're gonna get Finn Balor versus Keith Lee for the North American title,
which makes a lot of sense now.
Yes,
because since Keith Lee was looking at the NXT title. Yeah. Now we all know for a fact that Finn is gonna win the title. He's gonna win.
Yeah. By far, as soon as he called him out, I was like, well, that's how they're gonna do it. Vince has been calling for them to figure out a way how to get the North American title. As soon as Finn called him out, I was like, well, there's your new North American champion right there, and we know. And Keith Lee's gonna be the NXT champ.
The Undisputed Era is going to cause him the title.
Yeah, that could be be something that happens where his involvement trying to go after the NXT title costs him the North American title because they interfere in his match or distract him during his match and allows Finn to win the title off of him. However, don't count out Johnny Gargano out just yet. We could see another triple threat match. NXT loves their triple threat matches. They love their multi-man matches,
especially for the United States or the North American title too.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what happens with that storyline.
What I got from all of this, though, Undisputed Era is probably gonna be gone, bro.
Yeah, I got that feeling too. But we'll talk about that when we get to the main event segment. So next up, we had Kacy Catanzaro taking on Dakota Kai. Solid match. I thought Kacy looked very, very good here. This is like probably like I think she's looked better than Aaliyah or most other women that they're trying to build up.
Hell yeah.
She's slowly becoming one of my favorite people in the NXT in the women's division. She's rising up there. I can see here.
Let's keep talking about Dakota Kai though.
Exactly, my boo.
Whoa! Almost knocked my whole thing down. Almost knocked my whole set down because I went and leaned back too hard. Damn, Dakota Kai is something else, man.
Bruh, we all fall in love, man. That's my baby, bruh. She's so damn cute, bruh.
Her finish, though. Her finish.
And that finish.
So, Dakota does get the win. She hits the GTK, go to kick or whatever. I don't like the name of it. I just call it GTK. Don't give me the abbreviation version of it. Just GTK. I think it's good. Similar to the GTS, gets the job done. Solid finisher. She won't be able to.
I'm not so much worried about the match. The match was okay. I'm worried about what happened after the match.
So after the match, she goes to the camera, just like Finn Balor, and she says she's coming for that women's title, calling out Io Shirai. And then afterwards, her and Raquel Gonzalez, they team up to beat down Kacy Catanzaro until Kaden Carter comes out to make the save. But unfortunately, Gonzalez puts her down with...
Bro, that choke slam, bro, whatever the hell that was, bro. That shit looked like she touched the ceiling, bro.
Bro.
I ain't gonna lie, though. I have to give credit where credit is due. Kaden Carter actually came in with a little bit of art, a little bit of offense. I do like it.
Yeah, they gave her some offense. It wasn't like, oh, I'm coming in here and getting destroyed. Yeah. She came in, got some offense in, but they sold it as Raquel Gonzalez is so much of a force that Kaden Carter by herself couldn't get the job done. And that's great.
And to me, too, like them putting her with Kacy Like that shows me that they got plans for them somewhat. Like just like how they put Shotzi and Tegan together, they put them two together. Yeah, they're probably gonna take some L's.
Yeah.
But at least they're together and they're gonna be on TV. So that and Kacy Catanzaro, whatever. Her moveset is different every goddamn match. I don't think her last 2 or 3 matches, I don't think she's done the same 3 moves in those 3 matches, bro.
Right?
Like every time I'm like, when the hell did she start doing that? Like literally every match, she pulls out something different, bro. Like it's dope.
I love it because it's kind of like when you go into like a custom character and you have a moveset, and then to like get your like friend off guard, you switch the moveset. I'm like, wait, when did you get that move? I just added it.
Right.
I love
like,
it.
Motherfucker.
Like that flip kick that she did, and then the where she kind of like rode up where Dakota tried to kick her on the apron and she flipped around, turned into a Hurricane Rana to the outside. I'm like, bro, like this shit is dope.
Exactly. So I thought it was dope. I
did too.
What I also thought was dope was
I need to see more of her though.
Very true. Very true. Maybe we'll see her in the tag team with Kate and Carter because it looks like
that's what I'm thinking.
It looks like they're trying to build up a tag team division, which is a very good thing. Something they should have done like a year or 2 ago when they introduced the title. Like I was saying, what was something else I also thought was very cool was the Timothy Thatcher promo where he's introducing like the vignette where he's introducing the Thatcher's Catch Wrestling Camp, and it's going to debut next week. Very solid, very simple.
Thatcher's Thatch Can Wrestling Camp.
There you go. Sorry. That's why I got you guys here, so to like help me out whenever I fuck up. But I thought it was really cool. We'll see what happens next week. It looks like they're gonna start slowly build up his character via these vignettes in his like catch wrestling camp or whatever.
I hope they pair him and Michael Bivens back up together, bro. Like him and Stokely Hathaway and Evolve. Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't sound like it would be dope. Yeah. But the two of them together, bro, like playing off of each other, kind of like how him and Matt Riddle was playing like the straight man or whatever.
Right.
But him and Stokely, I'm telling you, bro, it was so dope, bro. Like super underrated run with the two of them together.
For sure. Next up,
question, guys.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah. What's up, man?
Maybe I've been. This is like 2 shows in a row that I've been on, but I'm kind of curious because I don't think I got to it. But did they ever have that cage match?
Yes. The fight pit match?
Yeah, bro. Oh, you better go back and watch that, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was fire, bro. You don't even know.
Yeah, and it was Matt Riddle's last NXT match before he got called up to SmackDown. So okay.
I just wanted to, like I said, I gotta try to. I'm trying to keep up as much.
Did you notice Thatcher's teeth missing in that promo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed it. I didn't.
Go back and watch the cage match.
Okay.
Go back and watch the cage match.
For sure. So, next up we had
Go ahead.
Eco that Phantasma comes out because he's about to speak on his win.
So do we really have to talk about this?
Let's go.
No, come on, bro.
Let's go.
Talk about this. We knew what was gonna happen. We knew.
We didn't know all that was gonna happen though.
Okay,
we didn't know all of it was gonna happen.
We had an idea what was gonna happen here. We've been calling it on the podcast for the last couple of weeks. We knew where there was going. Look, man. Everyone that wasn't blind or living under a rock could have seen this coming. But the way they executed it was phenomenal. I thought it was great. So, Phantasma tries to speak, and he gets interrupted by Drake Maverick. He's only able to get like a sentence loosely translated into English. He was saying that this win was for the motherland, Mexico. That's basically what he was saying. Yeah. So Drake comes out. He congratulates him, and he was saying that he basically comes out and tries to get a rematch out of the guy, saying that, look, man, my career wasn't stable. I wasn't in the right frame of mind. I kept hearing excuses. I love you, Drake Maverick, right. But I kept hearing excuses like, oh, if I was in the right frame of mind, I didn't have my head in the game, but I know if I get one opportunity, like I'll be able to beat you for that title. And then what I loved is Phantasma. He's like, yes, of course. See, yes, very, very, very formal, very happy. Like I loved everything about that. But just as he goes and accepts Drake Maverick's challenge, the Masked Luchadors, they come out and they're circling the ring similar to the Shield. So one's on the left side of the ring, one's on the right side, and they're Phantasma and Drake backs against each other, ready to fight off these two guys. And then once they get to the apron, Phantasma stops, postures up, turns behind Drake Maverick, and looks cynical, like he's about to beat the shit out of him. And Drake Maverick, I guess, kind of felt something was happening because, like, fuck. Like, I've been in this wrestling game far too long to know when I got set up in the trap. He turns around and he gets knocked the fuck out by Phantasma. They jump him. They beat him down. At one point, Phantasma does like this Undertaker hand lifting thing, and the guys take off the mask, and it's revealed to be none other than Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wild, the two guys that we thought were kidnapped by this luchador agency or whatever. Turns out to be the two main muscle guys for Phantasma. As he got Drake Maverick on the ground, he takes his mask off and he says, "I am Santos Escobar, the NXT champion, and no one can touch me." The guys go and hit simultaneous splashes off of the corners.
It wasn't so much simultaneous, but they hit some splashes.
Stereo splashes.
the timing was a little off.
well, Drake Maverick is a small guy. There's not enough real estate right there to like hit it simultaneously. They're not trying to hurt the guy.
It was good
I
enough.
hope they go with the name Untouchables, bro, because then we get that mafia style shit like we've been screaming for it, thinking it was this whole time, bro. I hope they run with this.
Funny enough, there's actually like a Mexican band, like a Mexican regional Mexican band that's a Spanish version of Untouchables called Intocable. So I kind of hope they go with Intocable, like
let's go. Let's go.
Or just make that their catchphrase, like "We are untouchable, somos intocables," something like that. I want them to do that. So what I love too is that once they hit the splash, Phantasma or Escobar goes and hits a neck breaker, like neck twist thing with his legs. Vicious. I thought it was cool. I'm all for it. I'm kind of against the idea of them taking off the mask of Phantasma. Like, NXT just has like a habit of like, I guess they just don't like masked luchadors if they're not lucha dragons or something, because every single mask.
I mean, it kind of gives, but it's okay though.
Yeah,
it's kind of okay though. Like, I don't mind it. I would have loved for the mask to stay on.
Right.
But I think it kind of gives them that seriousness though.
Well, not even that. We know what they're looking for. They are looking for a Rey Mysterio replacement. They've said it. They've been actively doing it. They've made it well known that they are looking for somebody to get when they go into Mexico to use as the babyface to prop up and get that Mexico City money. Like, they are not making any bones about it. They're looking for it. They're actively wanting it. And I if anybody can do it, and the fact that he spoke pretty decent damn English, like, bro, that's a plus for him. Wasn't
he like King Cuerno in like Lucha Underground or something? He can.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah.
Yeah, man, he can cut like promos in English. That's and it goes and it justifies your point, saying that if you're like Latino or if you're a foreigner, they make you speak broken or like messed up English or like not good English. You saw this guy can cut perfect English. He probably has better English than me. And I've been in this country for who knows how many years, and I speak and that's basically my main language at this point. So like, that's the great thing about Phantasma or Escobar. It's gonna take me a minute to not call him Phantasma, but
I just know that they had high hopes for him. Like, even when they first signed him, like, they made a big deal about it and everything. And now we know why. They got a Spanish speaking guy that's good looking, long hair, good looking, and can speak English and Spanish fluently. So when they go into them areas, I'm telling you, it's not a mistake. They know what they're looking for and actively searching for it.
All right, before we move on, Jay, your thoughts. We haven't had you on the show too often consistently for the week for the Wednesday recaps. What do you feel about this faction that's been formed, and what you feel about the angle, everything about it, like what you like, what you dislike?
Hold on just a second.
Oh, I caught him right in the middle of his drinking break. But that's okay. I thought it was really good. I'm very intrigued to see where this is going. They got my intrigue.
So, like I said, we all knew what was going to happen. We all know what was going on. I'm all for this. I am 110% all for this. This is something different. This is something fun. I'm going to enjoy all of this. And especially it gives both Raul and Joaquin something to do, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it gives them something to do, and that's so good. Like I don't want all that wasted talent not to do anything. They get something to do. You know, I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man.
And lackeys always, and sometimes out of these groups like this, one of the lackeys always ends up going and doing and being something. And it may not be like Hall of Famer type stuff, but one of the lackeys always ends up either turning on and going on to do something more, bro. And really, either one of these guys, honestly, have it. They just haven't been able to show it in NXT. But Raul Mendoza, he's been putting on banging ass matches in NXT since NXT's been NXT, pretty much, right?
Since he debuted in the Cruiserweight Classic.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so, and we know what Joaquin can do from TNA and Ring of Honor, all those other places he's been. Like,
Bro, he moved to Chicago and was running the fucking Chicago indie scene. I've seen him so many fucking times. He's one of my favorite people to like see at shows. He's fantastic. They just haven't given him a chance.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen him at Rockstar Pro here in Dayton.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen these people. Like I said, I know what they can do. Like, we'll see. Hope maybe both of them get out of it. We'll figure it out. And you got a tag team now too, pretty much, if you need to.
Yes, they're building up the tag team.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because that's something that the tag team division NXT sorely has been missing. They're gonna go ahead and bring up Breezango. They still got Orton, Lorcan, and Burch. They have Undisputed Era. They have Imperium now. They still have grizzled young vets whenever Corona gets like cleared up and they're able to like travel back to the States. I really do believe that it was supposed to be Broserweights versus grizzled young vets down the line, but they weren't able to do that. They weren't. That was stifled. That's not on them. But they are building up the tag team, and we're going to see 2 tag team title matches next week on NXT. Obviously, like we mentioned before, we have Breezango versus Imperium. Quickly, guys, we're going to get a quick predictions out of you guys. Jay, we're starting with you. Are Breezango winning the titles, or Imperium retaining here in their first title defense?
No, they're retaining. Like, they're not going to give them to Imperium like at the height of their like momentum, man. Like they're not gonna take it off of them. As much as I would love to see Breezango like, you know, soar,
right? They're
not gonna do it. Breezango is just there to put them over.
For sure. What about you, Aaron?
I think Breezango is gonna win, especially after that promo tonight. I think they're gonna win.
Oh, okay, okay. The guy that's more skeptical on Breezango is the one that is saying they're gonna win. I'm going to say this. I think Imperium might get the win, but it's going to be a close win. Maybe they'll just like get like an underhanded win, like a roll-up win, or like they cheat, and allows this to be a rematch because I really do want to see Breezango get the titles. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, I want Tyler Breeze to go down as a champion. I don't want him to be remembered 20 years from now as a guy that never won anything.
And that's what I'm saying. For you guys, for the stock that y'all hold in Breezango and them,
yeah,
like for that, any of that to come to fruition, they got to win this match. And that's the only reason why I think that they are trying to make them a viable tag team option and not just the comedy guys that are going to lose every time. Mm-hmm. And I think that normally when NXT does promos like that,
yeah,
there's something for you down at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying?
Also, too, maybe it was a case of Matt Riddle was going to get called up. They had to get the titles off of them. Who can we get the titles off of them? They're legit
Real
Imperium.
Quick.
So maybe they're just transitional champions, and they're just going to move back to the UK, and then they're going to transition to American champions while this pandemic is going on because they can't rely on that Marcellus Bartel and Fabian Eichner. Yeah. By the way, I love that Breezango didn't know how to call like Fandango and Breeze. They just didn't know how to like properly pronounce their names and their tag team name. I thought that was fucking hilarious. We also have another tag team match. The newly formed team of Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Knox are going to get an NXT, a WWE Women's Tag Team title match against the winner of the Triple Threat match this Sunday at Backlash. It's obvious it's going to be Boston Hug. It's going to be Bayley and Sasha Banks, the role models. They're going to go ahead and retain the titles. Spoiler for our Payback predictions episode tomorrow. Backlash, my bad. Not Payback. Backlash predictions tomorrow. I can't pronounce anybody's names. I'm just like Breezango. No wonder I love him so much. But we are going to get that title match. Guys, is there any chance that Shotzi and Tegan Knox win the titles next week?
No.
Jay?
I mean, I would love for them to win it, but I mean, it's kind of hard when, you know, my bae and Sasha, they tag champions.
So then quickly, are you guys in agreement with me? Since I'm not going to be able to have you guys in the predictions episode tomorrow, do you guys agree that Bailey and Sasha are going to retain the title? Nah, trying to keep it to like a limit, and slots have been filled.
I don't know. I think I'm praying for the Iconics to win it. To be honest, I mean, them my girls. I've been wanting them. I thought their reign was going to be longer and better than it was. Mm-hmm. I'm shooting for Iconics, and then if Iconics win, I could see. I'm not going to say that Shotzi and them will win, but I can see them have a better chance of winning and a better chance of it being an actual feud because Iconics came from NXT and they can play that up. Like, we used to run this place, blah, 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 blah.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I'd like to see that. But speaking of titles, check out Belts by Dan. Belts by Dan is a custom championship belt manufacturing, repair, restoration, and resale company started by the owner of BeltTalk.com. Belts by Dan offers fully custom championship belts identical to the quality of those used on television by major boxing, MMA, and pro wrestling companies. They also offer accessories for owners of existing belts, as well as resale of already completed belts targeted at high-end collectors. So if you don't want your title to end up like that trash TNT title over there on AEW, check out Belts by Dan. Let them know that the SmackDown podcast sent you. Obviously, if our own PWX Tag Team Champion, Jay Thunder over here, ever needs to get his title belt touched up a bit, he knows to go to Belts by Dan. Thank you, Belts by Dan, for sponsoring the show. And again, let them know that we sent you if you do head over there and make a purchase. Guys, main event time. Dexter Loomis versus Adam Cole. On a scale of like 1,000,000 to 1,000,001, how much did you love this match? I freaking love it.
Why are you even asking this question? I mean, you already know exactly that we loved it as much, if not more. Well, me for sure,
right?
As much or more than you, and you know how much I love Undisputed Era, but I think I might love Loomis just a little bit more.
Hey, okay. Look, man, I loved how before the match, Roddy is still paranoid. He finds another drawing. Look, Dexter, he's around, guys. He's around. Like the last
time. Where
the
hell were they at to get that little like cutout where his head was? Like, where the hell were they at?
I think that was just like one of those like freezer windows or something. Like, you know, like those storage freezers, like in restaurants or something. Yeah. Like maybe they were like in the Full Sail University like cafeteria or something.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I was like, damn, that's actually kind of dope. But how the hell did they get? Where did they find a door with a little window like that?
So to paint a picture to you guys, he comes up with the painting. I'm like, guys, I'm really concerned. The last time he drew a painting, it was him driving off with us in the back seat, and that's exactly what he did at Takeover. Look, he's coming for us. He's paranoid, and then Adam Cole and Bobby Fish like, dude, chill out, calm down, let's go do the match. And they start leaving, and then he notices, like you were saying, like through the small rectangular window of that door, like Dexter Loomis is just staring down Roderick Strong. I freaking loved it. Roderick Strong is perfect, and I think they were the perfect foils or the first like real people for Dexter Loomis' stock, because they sell the chicken shit heel stuff perfectly. Like you normally, like in like horror flicks and slasher flicks, they target like a group of friends, right?
Yeah.
And this is perfect. If there's any group of friends in NXT, it's the Undisputed Era. And I loved how the match was basically a slasher film. Like the entire time, Dexter Loomis is like stalking Adam Cole. Like,
how does he not break character and like smile or laugh or anything? Because like Undisputed Era they are that shit, bro. They can make anything look good, bro. Like the whole time, like with Roddy, especially like Jay said in the beginning, Roddy is the tough guy, the one that's he's the enforcer, even though he's the smallest dude in the fucking group. He's the enforcer. He's the one that's out front, ready to kick somebody's head off.
Kyle O'Reilly is the smallest guy.
Kyle O'Reilly.
I mean like height wise, like Roddy's the shortest one out of all of them, but I mean like he's the guy, he's the point man, and he's the one that's scared shitless. So they're like, we all should be scared of Roddy scared.
you know what? You could almost say that he's like the muscle, like the enforcer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So okay, Jay, look, man, we say this on NXT nonstop. As a big man yourself, how much do you love that they keep building up one big man after another after another? It started with Keith Lee, you had Dijakovic, you had Damian Priest, now you got Dexter Loomis. How much do you love the emphasis of like these big hosses back in NXT?
First of all, man, oh my God, like you have no idea how I'm like really feeling about it. Like I'm like up to here. Like
Yeah.
I'm all for it. It's just like it's nice to see that, you know, the big guys around there actually, you know, they know how to move. Like they know how to their agility is like freaking amazing. You got your Dexter Loomises, you got your Keith Lees, you got
But
your
the thing about that though is he's not that big. Undisputed Era is just so damn small. He's only like 6'3" or 6'4". He's not like
no, that's true. That's true. But the dude is fucking jacked though.
Yeah, and that throw when Adam Cole had him like in the headlock, and he literally just picked him up and like that's how you do like your little brother or sister, like when you're wrestling on the bed and shit, you just pick him up, chuck him across the bed, like he threw that man like he was nothing, bro.
It was kind of creepy though, cause like he did that little Terry Crews peck dance. And
like it just starts. Like when Adam was doing this shit, like, and then turned around, looked at him, and then he just hit him with the 1-2-1-2. I'm like, oh shit, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so we're getting really close to the 1 hour mark here, so we're gonna cut straight to the finish, and which saw Dexter Loomis locking his submission on Adam Cole. He struggled to try to get out. He couldn't get out. Bobby Fish saw, and the rest of Undisputed Era saw that he couldn't escape, and he probably would have lost that match if they don't interfere. So Bobby Fish comes in, distracts the ref, which allows Roddy to hit the high knee on the apron to Dexter Loomis, which stuns him and gets him groggy enough for Adam Cole to hit the last shot, gets the 1-2-3, gets the victory over the match, over Dexter Loomis in the match. And post-match, they're celebrating, they're getting ready to leave. Adam Cole gets a little extra cocky here. He decides, I'm going to stand over him, which is dumb. If the match is basically a horror slasher flick, you don't go and mock the goddamn...
He's never dead.
He's never dead, guys. So he goes and mocks him, and then as he does that, as he's standing over him, he just reaches up to him and locks in his finish again. It takes both Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish to come in and attack him, kick him down, for him to even release the hold. And then Velveteen Dream comes out, makes the save, returning the favor from a couple weeks ago to Dexter Loomis. And just Dexter Loomis always having Velveteen's back. I've seen reports that he's actually not getting called up to either Raw or SmackDown, even though he was originally supposed to go to SmackDown. He's going to stay in NXT, but given that he can't go after the title, it looks like they might be transitioning into Dexter Loomis and Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish in the meantime, and they might be going in the direction where they turn these guys into a tag team. Would you guys be against or for that prospect of these guys being tag teams?
I think they should turn them into a damn faction and add a couple more pieces to it because they got people there that can turn into some weirdos like them, bro. Like a Prince with Prince and the Revolution type shit type deal, bro. Yeah, that should be fire.
What about you, Jay?
I think they're all like the team between Velveteen and Dexter Loomis. I think that is like amazing. Like
the chemistry would be amazing.
Eyeballs and it works. It's like. They're two totally different people, but they work.
Could you imagine like the backstage promos, the pre-tape promos that they're gonna have with each other? That's just gonna be good.
Like, one would be
imagine
so flamboyant, and then the other one would be like so creepy.
Just imagine him doing like the snap, and then Dexter Loomis's face comes in front of the camera, bro. Like, goddamn, bro.
Stop it! Don't give them ideas. Bro. Stop giving them ideas. Okay.
I'm gonna have nightmares tonight, bro.
So the newly formed team of Loomis and Dream, they fight off Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong to the backstage area. Adam Cole is by himself in the ring. He's like, I'm going to celebrate one more time. So he tries to go celebrate with the title. Lights go off, a single spotlight on him. And this whole time, I didn't think this was going to happen. But in this whole time, like, who the fuck is this? Is this going to be like a new debuting superstar? It's like someone showing up on NXT. Then there's a spotlight revealed at the top of the stage, and you see Scarlett Bordeaux. And she's slowly making her way down to the ring and gets to the apron. And she's just staring at Adam Cole. And this whole time, Adam Cole's like, fuck. Because you're watching this. Because you're watching this.
They're saying fuck.
Like, this whole time you're watching, you're like, you know where this is going. But Adam Cole, within the confines of the storyline, is like, please don't let this mean what I think it means. Please don't let this mean what I think it means. Sure enough, Scarlett busts out an hourglass. Puts it on the apron, flips it to signify that Adam Cole's time.
You missed the part.
What did I miss?
They put the special spotlight came down for her to set the hourglass.
Oh, yeah.
Like it had its own spotlight. I was like, oh, that is dope right there. Just that little thing, giving it its own spotlight. Oh, man, that shit was fun.
It was so good. no words were spoken, but you got every single message. This like stuff like this is so cool where like you don't have to say anything, but the message gets across. That takes skill. That's great, like production work. I thought that was phenomenal and a great way for NXT to end. Scarlett Bordeaux walks up to the top of the stage. The Titantron reveals Karrion Kross's logo, his image or whatever, and Adam Cole, like the last image, you just see Adam Cole clutching the NXT title, knowing that he has to hold on to it for dear life because Karrion Kross is coming for it.
I know you seen that match that I had with Tommaso Ciampa. You know what's going down,
bro. And not even that though. It goes back to like we said, like starting out the show, a thread. They don't even have to do anything with this for months if they don't want to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they got a bunch of stuff lined up that they can do before that. They can go ride the Loomis, Velveteen stuff out. Like they don't have to do shit with this. They can sit on this and have us marinating, biting at the fucking bit to get this match, bro.
Okay, so like you mentioned at the top of the show, like tonight's episode kind of felt like they were trying to like writing Undisputed Era off of TV or like write them off to main roster. Would it surprise you guys at all if Karrion Kross's like next feud, which is Adam Cole, he in his second big match he gets the title already? Would you guys be for that or against that, or how do you guys feel? Is this too soon?
Go ahead, Jay.
Well, here's my thing. I don't know. I'm kind of concerned about the whole situation with Keith Lee because eventually he's gonna get that title. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Right.
But the question is who he's gonna get the title off of.
Right.
That's the question.
Right.
And if they're really serious about going forth with Karrion Kross, then more or less I don't think that they will let him lose over Keith Lee because he's got so much momentum himself.
So then,
yeah, but the thing, what I think about that is, I think it's gonna be that, but because Karrion Kross is so green, I think he's gonna have a longer run in NXT, even if he wins and loses the title.
Bro, here's the thing: he's not green. The way they portray him and the way they make him wrestle makes it seem like he's green, but he's actually not green. He's actually got some experience behind him.
Yeah, but he's only got like 4 or 5 years compared to half the people in NXT been wrestling for 10 or 12.
That don't mean none.
That means a lot. That means a lot. Coming from someone who actually does wrestle, that means a lot.
And I've been telling y'all before he even made his debut that Shawn Michaels made that tweet about the people that he's looking forward to and that he thinks is going to be big deals in NXT. Mm-hmm. He said Timothy Thatcher and Karrion Kross, and it was another person. I always forget the other person.
Right.
Those are the two people he mentioned by name. And what do we got going on right now?
So the thing that I could see happening, like you mentioned, the hourglass doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to go after Adam Cole immediately. It doesn't even necessarily mean he's coming for that title. It could just mean his next target is Adam Cole. So what we could see happening is maybe they go into Keith Lee, Finn Balor. He drops the title because of Undisputed Era, but in the same time, Undisputed Era is being fought off by Velveteen Dream and Dexter Loomis. Then you have Keith Lee finally get the title off of Adam Cole. Then Karrion Kross is still targeted. Stop it. Adam Cole is still being targeted by Karrion Kross. He destroys Adam Cole, and then the rest of Undisputed Era, they move on to like Raw or SmackDown, and then you transition Karrion Kross into Keith Lee, and he gets the title off of Keith Lee. Just a thought. What do you guys think?
That's not bad. Like I wouldn't mind that. It's just,
and that could be your jumping point to, if you want to send Keith Lee up. That could be your jumping point.
Of course, exactly.
Like, but so far though, like. This would have to be like maybe like 6 months in advance, man.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no, I'm not saying this is gonna happen with
him. The title, you can't give him. He just got it in NXT.
Yeah.
You can't give him the title. This is like the same.
No, but that's what I was asking.
This is the ruthless aggression era. You can't do that shit, bro.
But that's exactly what I'm asking, because it looks like he's going straight into the title picture unless he's only targeting Adam Cole. Because
I think he's going into the title picture, and I think him and Keith Lee are going to feud for a long time.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. I'm with it. I'm for it. If anybody can stand up to Karrion Kross, it could be Keith Lee. So that's it, guys. That's the show. Any last thing you guys want to mention before we sign off?
No, just make sure you guys check out use the smash hashtag smacked NXT. We'll shout you out on the show. Tweet us during any wrestling show. I mean, we're always on there going. Hit the Discord too, the Smacked Raw Pod Discord chat. We chatting there. Like definitely me and Jellybean Productions.
Funny
all of that.
Facebook account. Funny Facebook meme account. Go check that shit out. That shit's hilarious. I've had to quote a couple and share a couple of their fucking memes and put it on my own timeline. Jay, any final things you want to add before we sign off?
Well, number one, I would like to say that it's a very, very awesome thing that EO has won the title.
Yes.
That's one thing. That is a beautiful thing. EO is bae. And another thing that, I'm just, it was just a good show. Like tonight was a good show. Like everything was perfect. And, come and check us out, man. Like Smack Raw is what's happening right now.
For sure.
Do that wonderful thing on Twitter, hashtag Smack NXT.
Yeah. We actually gotta get on that and make sure we get our shout outs for everybody. But it's mostly just Matt, and we love you, man.
Yeah.
But we shout you out almost every show. So once we get some more people on there, we'll definitely get
the unofficial fourth member of the NXT squad.
Yeah, he's
he's a very good influence on Vince. I've started to love Vince's, now that he's, under the wing of Matt.
Okay. I don't think he's like my mentor or anything, but I've taken some notes. I appreciate it. Okay, so before we sign off, I do want to bring up that a charity event that we're going to be involved with the website Wrestling News World. They're partnering up with Synergy Pro Wrestling on Saturday, July 11th. And like I said, they're partnering up with Wrestling News World to bring a charity event for the first responders. A pro wrestling live stream super card to benefit the American Nurses Foundation. Wrestling News World and Synergy will donate proceeds from this live stream to the Coronavirus Response Fund of the American Nurses Foundation. And just go ahead and check it out. You guys can find it on Fight TV. You guys can order the pay-per-view there. It's going to have a lot of great indie wrestling, and we might actually see some commentary from us. We're going to definitely check it out. We're honored to be part of the donation, the power of the charity stream. I'm all for it. Go ahead and check that shit out, guys. Again, check out WrestlingNewsWorld.com for more information. Should be around the front page or stuff. But yeah, again, just want to go ahead and remind you guys to give this episode a download wherever you consume all your audio podcasts. If you're listening to us on YouTube, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, turn on the bell notification so you know whenever we drop a brand new video. But for me, SCS Vince, and the rest of the Smack Rock crew, that's just been the NXT recap, and we'll catch you guys next week. Later, y'all.
Peace.